So, why did you decide to come to McMurray, and was there anywhere else you thought about going?
I came to McMurray because I had a severe pole vault injury my senior year in high school, right at the beginning of the senior year. And I was going to be a baseball player, and when you mess up your throwing arm, you can't throw anymore, and
Okay.
baseball career ends. So I wanted to become a pole vaulter so I could still be a college athlete. I did a little bit in high school. I went to state. I only jumped 14.6 in high school, but McMurray was a good fit. They were offering me some good academic money, so it all worked out. Really awesome pole vault coach here, Coach Paris, and it's been great since. And anywhere else that I thought about going would be I got offers to Hardin Simmons and Stephen F. Austin, and if I'd have been a little bit better than like Texas State and some bigger schools, but it just was about average for high school pole vaulting.
You know me both. All right, so you're a senior now. Would you have traded these 4 years for 4 years at a D2 school or D1 school?
It would have been fun at a bigger school. I don't know if I wish McMurray would have been D2 and stayed D2 would have been a lot better. This whole transition thing has really sucked for all of us not being to go to nationals and everything. But I don't think I would have liked the D1 school, and I probably would have gotten into trouble at a D1 school also.
I can see that. Mm. How did the fluctuations in our divisions affect you and the sport?
Well, going up and down between D2 and D3, we weren't allowed to go to conference anymore with the ASC because we were D2 my sophomore year. Weren't allowed to go to nationals sophomore and junior year, and conference sophomore and junior year. And then this year, since we're finally D3, we get to go to nationals, but it's the NCCAA nationals, and it's still not NCAA nationals, which is all right, better than nothing. But it still has really sucked because if we'd have stayed D, if we'd have stayed D3, my entire year of college, I'd have four conference championship rings and only have one from freshman year. So that kind of stinks. And I would have made it to nationals multiple times in D2. If I'd have got to go to nationals outdoor D2 last year, I would have been number six in the nation. So that kind of stinks.
Dang, screwed you over.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, what do you? Okay. Next question. Does you being an athlete change your personality? Like, for instance, would you say your personality is different in all season than it is during season?
I think so for sure. I definitely pay more attention to my grades and everything, and try a lot harder in off season because I know I have to keep up grades now because I'm not gonna have time to work on my classes and everything as much as I would for normal during regular season and everything. But I don't know if it changes personality wise. Like I guess I'm a lot more focused. I focus on what I eat and everything a lot more. But I think that pretty much the same person the whole time.
All right. Does your personality change before practice or during practice? Like, say, like before practice, you're bored in class, or you don't really know anybody in the class, so you kind of keep to yourself. Whereas with your team, you're a little bit more upbeat or outgoing.
Yeah, I definitely get a lot more excited for track practice, especially when it's vault days. Just like today, for example, I was so bored in class. I had to do two 10, 15 page or two 15 page uh, papers and everything all due today. Been working on them like crazy, and then now finally get done. I'm super excited to go out to practice and have a good day of practice. It's a lot of fun.
Um, how would you describe your mood before competition and during competition? Or how would you describe your personality before competition and during competition?
Before competition, I'm always real laid back. I'm talking to all the people. I talk to some of the competitors that we know, but some people don't like talking even before competition. Unless it's like the 30 minutes prior to competition and during competition, I'm real laid back. But once that starts getting into warm up time and everything, I'm serious. I don't talk very much. I'm just focused on everything at hand. And I guess mood goes from like um, laid back to serious for sure.
Right, get more focused. Makes sense. Um, if a practice or a competition doesn't go well, then does it affect your whole day, or do you kind of brush it off?
Yeah, I try not let it affect it, but bad practices and bad competitions for sure do affect you. Um, you're just it affects you. You're down a little bit, but then you're like, okay, I got the next one to go get better and get everything like that. But it does. It affects you for sure because you're not. If you're happy after you do really bad, then you have a problem, and you probably shouldn't be a college athlete.
It's true. Um, and so does it maybe affect like, I mean, say your whole team doesn't do good, then do you kind of accept that like mentality? Does that like affect your mood? Like say everybody else doesn't do good and you do all right. Does that kind of like how does that make you feel? Like how does that make you do with how's that do
Like
with your
it
personality?
brings everybody down. If everybody's doing bad, everybody gets brought down a little bit. But it's not as bad. Like I would say, if you do halfway decent and then the rest of the team doesn't do very good, you're still not as bad. Like you feel bad for them and you want to encourage them, but it doesn't bring you down as much. If you do bad and the whole team does bad, then that's a different story.
So is it hard to, whenever you do really good, like, you got first place, but everybody else is just, bombing it.
Yeah, it is hard because I mean, that's happened. It's happened both ways. I've had friends get like first and me do terrible and everything like that. But it's it's a tough situation, is really what it is.
So, okay. Next question. Would you consider yourself a naturally motivated person? Like it's like a trait of you, you're pretty much motivated in everything? Or is it something like, you get motivated in specific situations or a combination of both?
I'm naturally motivated when it comes to athletics because I'm really competitive and I want to win. But I'm not one of those people that'll like knock your grandma down to win a game of flag football or something. But but like for school, it depends on the classes. If it's an elective or a blow off class, I'm really not very motivated. But if it's my major, then marketing, then I'm normally very motivated and I'll get all that stuff done for sure because I like doing that.
All right. So, what motivates you to compete? Is it more intrinsic or extrinsic?
Hmm. I think it's probably a little mixture of both. Um, one of the things I do is because I got hurt and I don't get to play baseball anymore. I got kind of got that monkey on my back. I had a really bad senior year in every sport, so I got that monkey on my back, and I got a lot of friends that aren't competing anymore, and I'm representing my hometown and everything, and I want to do good, so it shows to them that I'm doing good, and I should still be going here because people are like, "Why are you still pole vaulting?" and stuff like that, and I tell them that I jumped 16.8 last year, like, "Oh, that's pretty awesome," and I was like, "I just want to keep it going more and more and more." And to where it kind of shows them like what I'm doing. It's a positive thing.
Has your motivation changed over time? Like, say your freshman year to now, since you're a senior.
Um, I would say motivation's changed. I can focus a lot better now. When you're in a new place, a new school, you don't know all the drills, you don't know all the people. It gets a lot harder. It's really overwhelming, and it's hard to focus, and you're just freaking out about everything. Now I know when I have to focus and when I can be laid back and what to concentrate on, and I think that it has helped out a lot. That it has changed over time.
So would you say it's stronger now, or it's a bit strong? Are you like, is it still the same level of motivation? Like, do you feel more motivated now that you're a senior?
Yeah, I think like sophomore year and junior year, you kind of lose it. Freshman year, you're super excited. Sophomore and junior, like, oh, well, I still have 2 years left or 3 years left.
Right.
And this year, I'm very motivated because I got 1 year, I got one more semester now, and then that's it. And I'm never gonna pole vault again. So, it's I'm definitely a lot more motivated this semester, even than when I was a freshman.
Are there certain situations that would motivate you more than others? Like, Are you more motivated on a cloudy day versus a sunny day, rainy day versus a cold day, so forth, so on?
When that temperature is like 85 and it's partly cloudy and you got like a 15-mile south wind, it just makes me so excited because it feels so good outside. Hot and sweaty, or the hotter the better. I hate cold weather, and I do get depressed when it's cold because we don't pole vault when it's cold, and my body hurts, and it's just not good. I do get depressed when it's cold. And when it's warm and sunny, it's awesome, and I love it. When it's rainy, it's good because it's filling up all my fishing places and makes the grass grow and it helps out with everything else. But definitely, weather does affect my motivation.
All right. How would you describe the difference in motivation between, say, you fish, you are part of the bass club, so how's your motivation with the bass club different than pole vaulting?
Well, the bass club's a little more laid back. There are, like, even when we went to nationals last year, we were like, we've never been to Alabama fishing before. We're having some fun. We caught a lot of fish. We had a blast. We got a lot of free stuff. But we're not, like, heartbroken. I mean, we got 80th out of 160, so it's not like we did bad, middle of the pack. That's pretty cool. That's cool for me. And then pole vault, like, I want to win every time, and I have the ability to win almost every time. Like, there's guys better than me, for sure. But, like, I want to win. And honestly, if I'm at a really good meet and I'm not winning, but my heights are good, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Right.
But I'm definitely a lot more serious in pole vaulting than compared to other stuff.
All right. So would that mean that there's a difference in the competitiveness between fishing and like vaulting track wise?
Yeah, at least for me it is. For some people it's not. Some people get crazy about fishing and treat it like it's life and death. And I'm just not at that level, and hopefully I'm never at that level. Because it's a fun thing for me to do.
Yeah. Enjoyable. So I guess that means you consider yourself a naturally competitive person more than, it just depends on the situation that you're in.
I am competitive. Competitive with grades. Like, if I study and do real well on a test and everything, and like I know my friend studies too, and I beat him, then there's gonna be some talking between us and everything. But it's that's just how it is.
And all right. So do you enjoy? I take that means you do enjoy competitive situations, and well, there are situations where you are more competitive than others.
Yeah, if you're a college athlete, you have to be pretty competitive because you're going against even in high school there's some good athletes, but in college you got an even select few that can make it here and continue to do it and can handle the workload and the classes. You got to be competitive. If you're not, then you're gonna, even on like a football or a team sport, you're not gonna be on the field because you're not trying as hard and you're not gonna play. And one of the good things about track is kind of individual a little bit. You do have to try though, because you're competing against everybody. You're competing against your teammates and everyone else from the other schools too. You do have to be very competitive still.
So apart from that, how do you set your goals pertaining to your sport?
I mean, you kind of look back and you kind of reflect on what you've done that season, like the last season. We'll say, for example, last year I got third in the Lone Star Conference, second and third, and then I jumped 16-8. So this year I want to jump 17 at least, and since we're going to the NCCA Nationals, I want to get and win one of the NCCA Nationals, indoor or outdoor, for sure.
Definitely.
And I think it has to do with the last year and like what you've done lately too. Because on your first meet, you're going and you're trying to jump your best. It's not going to happen. You're going to get super depressed.
Right.
But if you go in and have like realistic goals, and you make those realistic goals by what you've been doing lately, long-term goals are good to set real high, but short-term goals are really hard to set high and not get crushed by them.
So, do your goals fall more towards like? Are you happy as long as you've beaten everybody else? Like even though you only jumped 16, but you got first place, are your goals more towards that, or are they more towards beating your own personal records?
I think it's more towards own records. Like if I won and only jumped 14 feet, I would not be happy at all. If I won in 16, I wouldn't be terrible,
Right.
but If I get last place and I jump 17 feet, I'm perfectly fine with that. That would be awesome because that's a really hard achievement to accomplish.
That's true. All right. So, when planning your goals, do you think of your abilities as fixed and unable to change, or do you think of them as changeable through hard work and effort?
Your goals can definitely change, and like your factors through like lifting and running and drills and everything. It does change. It does help out a significant amount, especially long term. You start doing the little things right, it helps, and just it's a snowball effect. It just helps out so much.
Do your goals change depending on the situation, such as uncontrollable factors, such as I know there's been a couple times where like Olympic athletes have randomly popped up in our competitions, or weather starts to rain, or even your own an injury, like
Yeah.
just trip, sprained your ankle or something.
Sometimes, like if you get hurt like that, or like there's a really bad wind or weather, significant element happening, you do change it. You just kind of try to get through it and just survive. But you're still trying to do good. But you do have to lower your goals.
Right.
You can't expect to do your best if it's 30 degrees and it's raining, snowing on you. It's just not going to happen.
So, how did you rate your anxiety before the competition? Like, do you get jitters, nervousness, self-doubt? Are you comfortable, tense?
I don't get nervous or like anxious until right when we get on the runway. That's when I get nervous. Or right before we have to go through the first bar. Like the bus ride, I don't get nervous. Showing up, I don't get nervous. But like right when we get on the runway for that first time, that's when I get nervous. And I do get a little jittery, and I'll start talking a lot, or I'll just get really quiet. But it's you got to control your emotions. It's really difficult.
Do you, we have to wear sometimes, Coach Crossan back when she was here, she wouldn't even let us wear shorts over our spandex because she would say it knocks you over the bar. So would you say that the fact that we have to wear, spandex and whatnot, would that affect how you get social physique anxiety?
Well, like I'm a tall, skinny guy. I'm not jacked at all, unlike this guy. But I just know that I'm a tall, skinny, lanky dude that's not jacked. Unlike all the other people I'm jumping against. And I try, but that's just how it is. And your body is what it is, and it's not changing that much day to day, so it shouldn't really bother you. But it doesn't bother me. I don't get, social physique anxiety?
Yeah. All right. Well, a couple more questions here. How would you describe your zone, and how often would you say that you get in the zone?
That's really difficult. Because like I can get in the zone different ways. Music helps out a lot, but even like getting in the zone through like old memories or just like seeing or reading a certain thing can also help out a lot. My zones, like I think I got two zones actually. Like both of them, I'm very relaxed. I'm confident, and I know that I'm about to do what I'm about to do, and there's like nothing that can get in my way.
Right.
But one, I'm like laughing and joking and having fun. The other one, I'm like serious. And for most competitions, I'm pretty serious. And I really don't talk that much. But I have a good self confidence. I'm smiling, but I may not be talking.
Right.
But I have a lot of confidence when I'm in that zone. And it's just like you get tunnel vision. You're just looking, and all you see is the prize. You don't hear people yelling or saying stuff. You don't see other things. It's just you and the runway and the bar, and that's it.
Yeah, tunnel vision. Yeah. So, speaking of confidence, would you say that your confidence has gone up as you've been here, as your skill or abilities wise?
For sure. When I came in to McMurray, I was only jumping 14.6. I jumped 16.8 last year. I didn't have much confidence in pole vaulting at all. Like I was alright for high school, but I've gotten a lot better now. I'm probably above average for college vaulters now. And, but, I don't know, like, it's, I don't remember my question. Just one blank.
Confidence. Something about confidence.
See, describe your zone. Pole vault.
like
Oh,
your
yeah.
senior year versus now?
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yes, I am definitely more confident now as a senior. As a freshman, you're overwhelmed and you're freaking out about little things like where's your classes at and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're walking around campus, you're confident, you know all the drills, and you're good at the drills, you're confident in that. I know that all just snowballs and relates to everything else.
Right.
When the rest of your life is set and perfectly fine and confident
Mm-hmm.
and where it needs to be, then you're real confident and you jump better, you act better, you're living better, and it's a lot better life experience.
And last question here. It's about imagery. How does imagery affect your vaulting? Like, is it pretty benefit? Is it like pretty crucial, or
You mean
not so
like
crucial?
seeing a video or like
Well, I mean, like, yeah, video would help. Like, if you're watching yourself
Mhm.
doing your form, but also what's in your head, like visualizing doing the
Oh,
correct form.
visualization?
Everything.
Yeah, that is huge. If you're sitting on the back of the runway about to go and all you can think about is about you're about to crash in the box and not make it, or you're thinking about, oh, there's no way I can make this, it's way too high, or I'm sick or my ankle hurts or whatever, then you're not going to make it. You have to trick yourself into doing it. And everybody struggles with everything. I got a problem planting the pole sometimes. And I just had a big thing yesterday and today and had a big breakthrough today. But and what you got to do, you got to trick yourself into doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to visualize and say, I think I can, I think I can. And eventually your body just takes over and it gets in a pattern and you see it. And if you can see it and you believe it, then you're going to do it. And you can trick yourself into doing it sometimes. And if you see yourself, like when I'm in the zone, I see myself going over the bar super easy. And that's just how it is. And it extremely, extremely benefits me and my team whenever you're like that. But
Nice. And I don't really have any more questions. I guess that's it.
all right, awesome.
Awesome.